Welcome. This is Dre Dillard with the Hidden Huddle. Welcome back, you guys. So happy to see you. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you're rocking with me. I want to thank everybody, all my new people. Hey, look, thank you for tuning in. All my folks that have been regulars, I thank you so much. But you guys, please subscribe, comment, because I like the engagement. And also share my videos, because remember, it might not pertain to you, but it might pertain to someone else, right? Okay. So today's episode, we're going to do a Q&A. Some of you guys, I've been paying attention. So even on IG, I want y'all to follow me there too. It's also the Hidden Huddle, at the Hidden Huddle. All my stuff will be the Hidden Huddle. Okay. So I had some people in the DM, some parents hit me up with some questions, and I decided yesterday, this is exactly what I want to do. I want to answer. I'm not really a note-taking girl. I'm normally like off the cuff, off the top of my head, but I wanted to make sure that I had the right questions, because I don't want to ad-lib y'all's questions. I want to do the right thing. So thank you again. All right, you guys. First question. Should I hire one of those companies that recruit online to get my son in front of college coaches? Okay. This is a lengthy one, simply because I went through that. So Andre didn't go to public school when he was in elementary. He went when he was in high school, in the 9th grade. That's when he started public school. And while he was in his middle school, we were still in youth football, okay? Because it's really a long story, but he was skipped a grade. So he was still able to play in youth football, which is amazing. So, because his school didn't have football. They had soccer and something else, but not football. So when I got to Andre in high school, it was like, people were hitting me up in my email, and I got an email from one of those companies. Not going to mention their name, because y'all ain't sponsoring this video. Okay? So you get no kudos from me, boo. But anywho, I felt at first, I was like, well, shoot, they're going to do all the legwork. Like, they will provide a website for your son, or like a profile page. They put all the stats up there. They put all of his, what position he plays, what he wants to do, what he wants to major in, all the goodies that coaches like to see, right? And I felt that was pretty inviting. So I talked to Andre about it, and we went ahead and we set up a Zoom call with one of the representatives. So it took like 90 minutes or so, but at the end of the day, for us, it wasn't a good fit, okay? And I say that because Andre was in the 9th grade. He was 6'4", 330 pounds. I really didn't feel that coaches weren't going to find him, because they were going to find him, period. Okay? They were going to find him, and they did. But I think maybe because being so tall, that's genetic. That's in his DNA. He's a big human. Now, maybe for y'all out there, your son might not have that genetic physical attribute that he was born with. I'm trying to be properly politically correct in my words with this one. But at the end of the day, you might need something like that. But at the end of the day, too, if your son is balling out, the coaches are going to find him. They are. That's just how they work. That's their job. That's their business. This is that industry. You know what I'm saying? It's their job to recruit. So they're going to, I don't even care if your school only has 100 people in there. If your son is balling out on football, they're going to find him. But so I didn't feel that Andre needed that avenue for that particular online service. So am I saying that it's not good? But it is good. They will hook you up with different camps all over the nation. But none of them are D1. And we said D1 and we got D1. We put our mind to it. Andre worked very, very hard for it, and he's D1 now. But they don't have any D1s on there. They have a lot of D2s and D3s. And not saying that that's a bad thing, but that wasn't our boulevard to go down. Does that make sense? So in answer to your question, I think every family has to sit down and talk to the individual who is representing that online company. And another thing is they make you pay for it. You know, I felt like, you ever been to one of those resort type of agencies, and you have to go through this timeshare thing? I don't think they even have timeshares. Ain't nobody, them cheap ass hotels, baby. Come on, no. Anywho, no. But that's what I felt like. I felt like, you know, you go through this 90-minute spiel, and then at the end you hit me with this $250 a month price. Like, no, I'm not paying you $250. So then they're like, oh, well, what about $175? They do the same thing as that resort company. So I was like, nah. At first I was like, I said, let me think about it. I was like, you know, I ain't waste this man's time or mine. No, we're not going to be able to do it. We really appreciate it. So in answer to your question, I think it's definitely a family thing that you have to discuss to make sure that that is a good fit for y'all. So I'm not going to say yes or no on that. Okay. Question number 2. Do I get to talk to the college coaches? So with this one, it was a little vague, and I didn't have time to have dialogue with this particular parent. So I'm going to kind of just brush on what I think that you're talking about, okay? When it comes to talking to coaches, when your son gets into high school, I don't know, maybe they did it in middle school, but we didn't experience that. Your child needs to have a Twitter, because that's the way that coaches actually communicate with the boys, okay? They will contact them. They'll look at their film on HUDDLE, which is attached to it, and then they will hit up the high school coach, and then the high school coach will say, hey, so-and-so is going to come here and watch you practice, or so-and-so coach from so-and-so university is going to come here and chat with you for a while because they're interested. And this is before even the offer. So if they're interested, that's kind of like the step, okay? I'm not saying that's the step, but those are steps that are popular. So after that, no, mom, dad, you're not going to be there. You can't come on campus when every coach comes out to the schools, because sometimes they just pop up, you know. No, you can't be there. They're also going to have FaceTime with your son in the evenings after practice. They'll text your son in the allotted times that are allowed, because through NCAA rules, there are allotted times that you can't talk or text. Like, your son will have to reach out to the coach. Like, the coach can't contact your son. It's a blackout period, so to speak, okay? It ain't no so to speak. That's what it is. It's just a blackout period, and they are very strict on that, okay? That's something that you have to learn as well. So coaches they're just not going to call you. Now, I will say this, when Andre was being highly recruited, some of the recruiters actually hit me up and say, hey, Miss Dre, or Mama Kojo, can we have a FaceTime with you and your son at such and such a day and time? And then that's how you'll be able to talk to the head coach. I'll tell y'all this. When Andre was being recruited with Texas, it was during COVID. So and it was really like the ice storm as well. So of course we couldn't go out to Austin for that, but they had they had a person in every place, i.e. the locker room. There was somebody there. There was somebody in the eating area, the cafeteria, whatever, the field, the team meeting room, positioning meeting room. Somebody was at every single place, and they talked to us so we could actually see. It was amazing. That kind of recruitment was very, very inviting for my son, because this whole thing is built on relationships. When your son is being recruited, and if they really want your son to come to that university and play ball, they'll recruit you hard, meaning it's like a hard offer. You get an offer. You're going to get some offers you might not even hear from the coach no more. They're just throwing their bid in. They don't even talk to you. You know what I'm saying? They know nothing about you and your family, really, other than what they see on your Twitter. But at the end of the day, if they really, really want you, they're going to want you to come out there to a lot of games. They're going to want you to come to certain barbecues and visits that they have, unofficial visits. We'll get on that in a little bit as well. They want to engage with you because they want to make sure that it's a good fit for you, the son. And then they want to make, when I say you, I mean your son. And they also want to make sure that the coaches have that fit too. Because there's nothing, if your son don't like the coach or the school, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time and money. You feel me? And I guess that's why the portal is available. I'm not going to talk about the portal on this podcast because that's a whole episode in itself. But as far as you talking to the coaches, you'll get that time and good face-to-face time. So, yeah, you will, but you're not going to be calling up the coach. Don't call the coach, because half the time that's not his phone. That's a work phone, and the assistant is actually communicating with you sometimes, not all the time. Yeah, there was one coach that hit Andre up every single day. Either talk to him or definitely text him every single day. And then he wound up not even giving him the offer. Man, you done wasted my son's time. Don't do that. We don't play that over here. But anywho, so yes, mom, dad, you will get a chance to talk to the coaches. You will. Yes, indeed. All right. Next question. My son is 8 years old and overweight. Should he play football? Heck yeah. He should do something. But if he's 8 years old and he's overweight, do you know in Pee Wee how them coaches will be swarming all over him? Oh my gosh. I've seen it. I have seen where kids that are new getting out the car and they come to practice. Man, them coaches, all of them running over there. You know why? Because they know they can develop that kid and make him a fantastic player. I've seen it over and over and over again. Trust me. They recruit as well because that's how they get their players. So your son getting some activity, if your son is overweight, for sure he needs to be in the activity. He don't need to go to school, take his shower, eat dinner, do his homework, get on the game day after day after day. And then on TikTok and on YouTube, day after day after day. He needs some activity. It not only helps him physically, it helps him mentally too. You know what I'm saying? It's just an overall type of athleticism that helps him. It can help him through life. You know, you hear men now saying, yeah, when I used to play Pee Wee and they be 50 years old. And when I used to play ball, they be 60 years old. You know, this is something that it's a brotherhood. You feel me? It is a brotherhood. Not only that, it develops social skills. Because these kids now, they don't have any social skills, y'all. They really don't. It's like they go to school, and remember when we had to stay at home? Oh my gosh. Now at Andre's district, they still had practice and stuff like that. But we're going to get into that another time too, but that was a trip in itself. But if they didn't have that football and just being at home, I can't imagine parents dealing with kids like that. They go stir crazy. They still need to do something. They need to be active. Don't have your kid hanging on your coattail all the time. You ain't doing nothing. Kids need to be around kids. And they need that interaction. And they need that physical interaction too, because it's great for a healthy heart. Come on now, you know. So definitely. I truly believe that they need that child needs to be in football. And if he doesn't like football, he needs to be in something. Okay, that's my opinion, and I stand on it. Okay. Next question. We are concerned that our son's school work will neglect if he plays football. That can happen. Absolutely, that can happen. Because they go to school, they go to football practice, Pee-wee, sometimes they don't get out of there till 8:30 p.m. The moon is out. Been there, done that. Year after year. That's on for real. Sometimes they're too tired to do it, and they will neglect it. I remember sometimes Andre used to say, I don't have any homework. Boy, stop playing with me. You said this for a whole week. Oh, I had none. I did it at school. Just lying. And Andre actually did have a tutor, and I want to talk about that too. Andre had a tutor. Oh my gosh, because his school was very advanced in elementary. I couldn't do it. Like, I had to get him a tutor. Now, maybe you can't afford a tutor. That's fine. A lot of people volunteer to tutor kids. You can also, in high school, I know that a lot of kids that are in community college, they actually came to our district, and they help kids during the day if they needed help. When you are in high school, you definitely need that as well, because kids get distracted. Okay? And if your child can't play because of his grades, or if he's absent, too many tardies, you got to remember too, parent, that if that child, because my son did that, I think he had too many tardies and missed a game. And this is not an individual sport. Like, this is a team sport. Your brothers are counting on you to be there. You know, so you got to do what's right. And you allowing your son to play, it's going to help him later in life to be responsible. Because if he loves this game of football, he's going to do what he has to do. Now, he might slip up every now and then. Kids do. But at the end of the day, shoot. Push it through. Tutor. Talk to the coaches. Have the coaches talk to the teachers and say, hey, you know, so-and-so needs some help in this subject. What can we do to help him? That's one thing that them coaches are going to do. In high school, they are definitely going to make sure that them grades are right, because they need that kid. They need that kid. So go to the teacher. What can we do? It's like a family, basically. Not only that, one more thing on that. There are services out in communities that give free tutoring. Don't forget that, parents. That's important, because you want your kid to stay on track with the sport that he loves, so that he can excel, so he can get a scholarship. So you got to make sure them grades are right. Stay up on them, period. Stay on that. Okay. Next question. Is this the last one? Ooh, I'm going through these questions. Okay. This is going to be a long one, though. What's the difference between an unofficial visit and an official visit? And for you parents who are in Pee-wee and you don't know what that is when kids get invited to go to the university and check out the university, okay? Let's talk about the unofficial visit first. So main purpose is that unofficial visit lasts a few hours. You might go to an unofficial visit that is also clamped on to a game, meaning that you will first check in, you will pay to have breakfast. Everyone who is eating on an unofficial visit, you have to pay for your own expenses. So if they have lunch there, you have to pay for that. Those are NCAA rules. Like, there's no getting around that, okay? It's the real deal. You got to pay if you stay the night. They're not going to pay for your hotel, okay? And they're not going to pay for your transportation. and your food. You got to take care of that for all your family, period. So that's an expense as well. I'm going to have a podcast on expenses and stuff like that too. When you're on an unofficial visit, like I said, you can check out the campus, you check out the feel of the campus, you check out the vibe, and the parents too, not just the kids. I always told Andre, every time we went on an unofficial visit, I need you to feel when we're walking on this campus, well, really you're being in a cart. You don't do too much walking, and they treat you good too on unofficial visits. They really do. They'll cart you around. They'll show you different, like the science building. This is the business building. Here's the gym. Here's this pool, whatever. They're going to let you see all that. When you go for your official visit, you get a little deeper than that, because then they're investing money in you. With the official visit, let's talk about that real quick. That's when the fun begins. Not just for the kids, the parents too. Okay. First of all, they'll fly you out. They'll fly out. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it's 4 family members that they'll fly out. Maybe 3 or 4, something like that. And then, or immediate family. Anybody else, you'll have to get there yourself, but they'll take care of your room. 5-star hotels. You hear? 5-star. Yeah. They take care of all your food. You eat good. As soon as you check in a hotel, they waiting for you to eat. Like food everywhere, drinks everywhere. Period. Okay. Yeah. They make you feel you have your own driver. Like when they pick you up from the airport, they have your name on the normally it's, especially like for Andre, I think for all of them, we had Suburbans and the big cars, Escalade, stuff like that. New, not no dated vehicles. It's brand new. It smell new. Oh, they gonna get you now. They make you feel like a celebrity. Period. So that's fun stuff. But that's that Friday. Then Friday evening, you shower, meet downstairs, and then maybe you might go to a bowling alley. More food, more drinks. It's just the feel of the camaraderie of everyone. This is the official visit, okay? So the difference so far is they take care of all the expenses for you. Unofficial, you as the family, you have to take care of that, all right? Then Saturday, that is the time where you're really getting into, you might meet the director of, if your son is going to be a business major, they might have somebody talk to you about the business school. They get instructors and you go visit and things of that nature. We went to one school one time and she had COVID, so she actually Zoomed us. It was amazing. I was like, dang. So she Zoomed us and talked about what Andre wanted to major in. He's since then has changed his major because he wanted to be a pediatrician, and that's a heavy load. Football and going to med school, that's hard. And doing all those biology classes and in the thick of it. Some people do it, but it's not a lot. Not a lot of kids do that, so he has changed his major. But, baby, then Saturday night after you do all that, I forgot about the photo shoots. You get a photo shoot. The guys get a photo shoot, unofficial, which is like the thing. It's like that's the highlight for them because they get to put their uniform on. They can go out to the field, go into the tunnel and stuff like that. Lights, loud music. It's just really, really nice. Schools just really, they do it up because they're trying to get your son. That night, you dress up and you go to a very elegant 5-star restaurant, eat all you want. Man, do you eat all you want for real? Drink all you want. Man, whew. Then that night, the kids are separated from the parents and they take the parents out. Each school is different, and then the kids have sponsors. Like when Andre was sponsored and I'll say because he goes to Texas, Kelvin Banks sponsored Andre, so he took him out and all that kind of stuff. And of course, other teammates are there as well and other people who are there. We had I think when we were there were like 5 other linemen there as well. And they pretty much knew each other because they see him at unofficials. The kids know each other. You know what I'm saying? So Andre got to experience that this past weekend. He was actually a sponsor from a young man who actually committed. And that's the whole thing. You want the kid to commit. That's what the schools are going for. They want that child to commit that weekend, period. That's the goal of the school. So if you're trying to go to all these unofficials, and check this out. But first, congratulations to Nate Kibble. I think I'm saying your last name right. Welcome to Texas. That was Andre's. He's from Houston. That was Andre's guy that he sponsored. So, and I'm proud of my baby doing that. He showed him a good time and stuff like that, and told him all about the school and made it inviting on a kid's perspective, on a teammate's perspective. Because I was asking him, I was like, what did you ask him and what did you talk to him about? He was just telling him straight up, hey, dude, this is how the school is. This is how we practice. You know, we got brotherhood, all this kind of stuff. So I'm sure he told him good and bad. There's good and bad in everything, you know, but he told him more good that he liked because he and his mom committed at Coach Sark's house on that Sunday. So that Sunday, that's what we did at Texas, because I'm talking about Texas right now. We actually got to go to Coach Sark's house for brunch. And then if you are interested, then you tell the coaches, your positioning coach and your head coach, hey, I want to be a Longhorn or whatever. Okay? That's pretty much it on how that's ran. But let's talk about these official visits now. Do you know the unofficial visits are unlimited because families are paying for those? Until July 1st, up until July 1st, which is in a couple of days, you can only take 5 official visits. Each player could take 5. That was it. Everything else is on your dime. Now they have unlimited officials. Man, say, I wish we would have been all over this nation. Period. These y'all about to have a great time, and I hope you enjoy it. You deserve it, and schools know that you deserve it. Oh, I totally forgot this. When you are at the unofficial visit, mom, dad, for the lady who asked about, or man who asked about, do you get to talk to the coaches? When you go on your official visit, you'll have a little time to talk to the head coach and to the positioning coach. But when you're on your official visit, you will have a more in-depth, like I know Coach Flood for Andre had what he did for the linemen. He had an entire projection of Andre's plays, and he talked about each play, you know, fast forward and boom, boom, this was good, this is what you can do, this is what I would have done. He was coaching Andre on how he played that year. Oh, that was amazing. Just amazing. So that's what I'm telling you. You're going to go to some of these schools, mom and dad, and you, as a parent, you're going to love so much stuff. But let me tell you this. Let your child pick that school. I never got in a position where I was going to be like, no, Andre needs to go here. He needs to go there. It had to be up to my son, not me. I already have my degrees. I've walked the streets. I walked the streets of Norfolk State University in Norfolk, Virginia. The green and gold, baby. Behold. Spartans. Oh, excuse me. But anywho, it was up to Andre, not me. You know what I'm saying? Not me. He's the one that has to deal with the coaches. He's the one that has to deal with everything. Academics, the whole 9. Son, can you see yourself walking the streets at this school? Can you see yourself walking? Picture yourself. I need you to get that vibe. Get that vibe. Can you see it? If you can't, boo, this ain't for you. And I mean that. I mean that. So that's the kind of mom I am. I let my son pick it because we ain't wasting no time and nobody's money over here. Period. So I'm going to end it here. I thank you. Make sure you guys hit the bell notification. I ain't playing with you because I need y'all to get all my info. Don't play with me. Okay? Thank you so much. I'm out.